Hi, I'm Busi Selesho. I'm an international accredited money coach and a money consciousness teacher and author of this book called Money and Black People, Why Black People Don't Have Money and How to Heal Your Money Story. So I've been doing this work for the past probably 6 years, and I have been able to help a lot of people. I have written this great book that has just reached an international bestseller, and it's a book about why we have not been having money. And it says money and black people, and the black people is not actually about the color of skin, it's more about the consciousness. There are black people that are white skin toned, and there are white people that are black skin toned, and that has nothing to do with their skin color. It has everything to do with the consciousness that they are carrying with them. So I am talking to the people who identify themselves consciously as black people, because that automatically has a positive and a negative, and most of the times the negatives are in the money part, which is why I wrote the book, and which I have been one person that also identify myself as a black person, and which the perfect place to put ourselves in would be human, because when you're human, you're not black, you're not white, you're not Indian, you're not colored, you're not female, you're not male, you are not it's identified by where you live, where you were born, who gave birth to you. So when you're human, you are a being. You are an existing potential power. So that is what we should be looking at ourselves, and not looking at ourselves as a black person or a white person, because then automatically we then inherit the stuff that is great and the stuff that is not so great about being that. So I wrote this book, and it came out last year, and we have just reached the international bestseller, and we're selling all over the world. And it has changed a lot of people's lives. It has changed thousands and thousands of people's lives when it comes to their money and their money issues. So one of the most important things about the book is in two parts. The first part is talking about why these consciously black people don't have the money. What happened? There are so many things that have happened, politically, geographically. I mean, Africa is said to be one of the richest continents, but everyone that lives in Africa, well, that is conscious of being an African, does not know this, or does not subscribe to this notion that Africa is the richest continent. And normally people that are African and people that have lived here, and that this place is theirs, and not because of their color skin, they normally do not take ownership of it because of what we have been taught about this place. And it's not just about Africa, it's about everybody else that thinks they are black, because then you have been taught that when you're black, things are taken away from you. When you're black, you are marginalized. When you're black, you know, even justice does not save you. So the book is, the first part is all about that, why it happened, why it's happening, why it will continue happening, and what you could change for your own selves, for your own life, to not then be affected by this. But then the part that I love the most is the second part of the book, which is a 30-day money mindset program. So this is a program that helped me also, definitely. I needed a lot of help when it comes to money, because my life story evolved around money. And I always say that we all have a story. The day a person is born till the day they are 45, or they are 55, or they are 25, all those days count up to a specific story, and all stories and every story is valuable. And that story, you lived it for one reason, to be able to impact another person's life. So whoever that is coming after you needs that story to be able to survive, or to be able to be better than what has been. So when we take our stories and we share with others, then we are able to impact the world. So that's what I did. My money story, I could let you know about it. It's on my YouTube channel, and you could see how I ended up being a money coach because of that story. But what I've done is that I have found how money is not physical and money is energy, and then I have been able to then connect with that energy, but then also share it with other people to say, okay, this is actually how practically it is done. So it's in the book. You can then do it yourself. You can get into your own bedroom and to your own garage and close the door and actually change your mindset around money, and then understand that you are a being, a potential powerful being. You don't need to be thinking that you are not what you want, or you are not what you would like to be. So anyone who needs the book can definitely get it on my website. It's busiselesho.com, or on Kindle and Amazon and all those digital platforms, and get yourself a copy. And one other thing that I also do, which is connected to the book, is I go to I speak at events and corporate events and conferences and any other event, women's event, entrepreneurs event, all sorts of events. And I always talk about the fact that your money story can change. So whatever that you have as a money story right now can change to what you want it to be. So, and it is not about what you have, it's about who you are. You have everything you need right now. It's just that you don't know about it. So when you change your mindset, you finally find what you've been not tapping into. So the book and the topics that I normally talk about are around the chapters of the book, and I would just like to give you an example of a few chapters. Like we have a very interesting chapter on money and men, which is chapter 9, and chapter 10 is money and women. And in these two chapters, I talk about the fact that when you are a woman, there is certain standards or certain ways that you've been taught how to deal with money, and you've been taught how to get money, and you've been taught how to handle it. And as a man also, there's different things that you have been taught, that like the fact that when you are male, automatically you are supposed to be the provider, and everyone is sort of wanting you to provide for them. So when you are a boy, you growing up at 10, 12 years, you know that one day you're supposed to take care of someone. And if you don't, then you're not going to be man enough. And I'm always also on radio a lot, and we've dealt with the topic that a lot of jails, well, not a lot of jails, all the jails are full of men. And why the men are there is because of, in some way, connected to money. And 90% of the time, men are in jail because of money. Because why? They're trying to get the money, because that is what makes them men. So, and if you then are really suffering in terms of money, you will know that it's not just because you are the problem, but the society as a whole has this problem. So and you find that also a lot of times you find that men are saying, if I'm broke, I can't have the woman I want. If I'm broke, I can't do this. And then most times men sabotage themselves to be broke, because then automatically when I'm broke and you love me, then you love me for me, not for the car I drive, not for what I can give you. Then definitely you love me. Then let me be broke and then be loved, because that's true love. And then you find that men then do not have the money they want to have because they are self-sabotaging without knowing, obviously, not consciously, subconsciously they are doing that and trying to make sure that they are actually loved for who they are. So those are the topics that I normally talk about at events, and I normally talk about on radio and TV and all that. And there's also, then there's the part of women, and most women that come to me and say, Busi, I've started a great business, but it does not make money. And you know, this person has done everything. They've got the skills, they've got the thinking patterns, they've done everything. They probably would have even got themselves all the capital they need, but the business is just not growing, the business is not working. And that is because this lady is at the back of her mind, subconsciously, is waiting for a man to take care of her. So she's been taught that the way for you to have good money is for you to get a man. So she is not doing anything to logically sabotage the business, but emotionally she is not ready to have her own money because she's waiting for a man to save her. So those are the things that I've seen when I'm coaching, and I've written about them, and we've then created programs that can deal with them, and then so that then you can get over them and then win. So, and other topics is like money and kids. How do we teach our kids about money? Our kids do not have the problems we have because they come here clean, and you know their conscience is clearer, and then we teach them what we've been taught. But then we can then stop that cycle and teach them what they need to learn, which is number one, that they should enjoy how they make money. It shouldn't be that you just need to get a job and do it. So that is not how we're supposed to be teaching our kids. Our kids should know that they need to enjoy money, but also our kids need to know exactly what is it that they are good at. So my daughter is good at gymnastics, and she tells everyone whenever she meets them, I'm good at gymnastics, I do gymnastics well. And she is so conscious of the fact that how good she is. But then she also knows that she can't dance. So she will tell you, I can't dance. I don't know really how to dance. I just try to dance, but like, that's not my thing. My thing is actually this, gymnastics. So we need to teach our kids to be always very, very, very aware of what they are good at, because that is the only way to make money. Where you're good, you will make money, and you will make it without feeling as if you're working. So then there's also a topic on debt. That is a very, very, very strong topic, and also speak at functions and talk a little bit more about it, and give a detailed process of how to get over the emotional parts of the debt that we carry, because it's not just about the money you owe in the bank. It's all about you proving to yourself that you don't have enough, you are not enough, you can't afford, so you then have the debt. And why black people don't buy from other black people. So this is for entrepreneurs, and obviously when I talk to entrepreneurs, I talk to them about the fact that black people, you do not want to give them the please support me because I'm black and you're black, because it's normally not going to work, because black people were not taught to do that. So normally we have seen this a lot, that when a black person has money, everyone wants to know, how did they make it? Did they get into some shady deals? Did they get onto some corruption stuff? Or how were they able to make this money? And then when other people have money, no one wants to know. So, and you find that black people, when we are all broke, it's all good and it's amazing. We just be all together broke and we are fine. Once a black person has money, all of a sudden they will feel guilty, but all of a sudden they are treated differently, because what do you think you are? Like, why do you have money? Like, where do you get it? Like, then it's not a normal thing. It's not something you're supposed to have. It's not something that is welcomed. And it's not a conscious decision. It's a subconscious decision that runs around. So that's what I'm saying. And then doesn't mean that black business will never have money. The black businesses that have changed their mindset around this, they enjoy black clients. So it's not about that, oh well, let me just give up on this. No, you can change your mindset, you can change your energy, you can change your vibration around this, and all of a sudden your black business enjoys black clients that don't ask for discount, that do not put your product down and say, oh well, you know, this is not as great as this. But people that will love your product, love your brand, and not look at it as a black brand. Look at it as something that is valuable to their lives. So if you would love to have me at your event, you could just send us an email on that Busi Selesho email, busi@busiselesho.com, and we will love to be at your next event and talk about money and how to have a better relationship with money.